Hello, my name is Feruzi Banafik, and I'm majoring in International Relations at Bindus University. There are two options for me after graduating from university. First, I will make my way to get a job as a diplomat or get a job at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. These options mean that I will be using what I have learned in university and work as a 9 to 5 job with a stable payment. Second options, I will start as an entrepreneur and start my own business. This second options gave me more freedom and did not tie me to someone else's rules, but I will not receive stable payment. To realize these options, I will be needing enough knowledge to really dive into it. For that, I see multinational corporations' global strategy subject as a basic knowledge for me to go forward in my life. Knowledge for me, whether I get the office work or be an entrepreneur. For that, I intend to use the knowledge that I get in the multinational corporations' global strategy and other subjects to put in use when I graduate from university. In this video, I will try to answer three questions that need to be answered. Question number one. Value chain analysis is a process to identify the company's main and supporting activities that add value to the product, where the company analyzes those activities to reduce costs and improve product differentiation. Supporting activities are activities that support the main activities, while the main activities are activities related to the production, sales, and maintenance of the company's products. The main activities consist of uh, inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and service. Meanwhile, the strategic partnership seeker motive can be applied in conjunction with other motives in all primary activities. For example, in outbound logistics, where the reason for the company's expansion is to work with logistics companies to reduce transportation and distribution costs of goods. Question number two. Organizational management between HQ and subsidiary offices is at least divided into two, where HQ focuses on the home country and subsidiary offices in the host country. The first type of management is financial management, where companies identify and explore new business opportunities, formulate new corporate strategies, develop new management practices, and support innovation initiatives at subsidiary level with three concepts, namely expand centered, where subsidiaries are given the authority to produce, profit centered, where the subsidiaries are given the authority to provide profits to the center, and last is revenue centered, where subsidiaries are given the authority to make as many sales as possible. The next type of management is coordination management, consisting of coordinating the activities of subsidiaries in all markets and achieving synergies by pooling resources and concentrating activities that provide added value. For example, multi-domestic, with each subs has full authority and is profit centered. Mega national, where value chain implementer considers the world as a place of production and marketplace. Each subs are interrelated. And last is transnational, where creating a global profit network with subs having different goals but still multiplex. An example of company using a multi-domestic strategy is Danone. Danone's branch companies have their own authority, which allows them to customize products according to local tastes. At the mega national, Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, and GM are examples of large companies that using this strategy. These companies focus on reducing economies of scale and other efficiencies of global integration that benefit the company. For transnationals, there is Starbucks that uses this business strategy. Starbucks is trying to create a global brand, but on the other hand, they are also adapting their products to local tastes. The last questions. Five forces analysis and business model are interrelated with each other because these two things are still a series of processes that from the expansion steps of multinational companies. In explaining the relationships between the two in more depth, we will take the example of the Nike company in its efforts to update its previous business model. During the pandemic, some retail business experienced a meltdown. However, Nike managed to reach the peak of its highest earnings during the pandemic. This is because Nike made changes to its business model. The first step before Nike determines its company's business model is to analyze the company internally through value chain analysis to find out what Nike's weaknesses and strengths are. With its differentiation motive, Nike focuses on the quality of the product or the features it offers. After knowing the need for expansion and its purpose or motive, it is continued by analyzing the existing competition using five forces analysis as follows. Supplier power. The first step is to maximize supplier power by stopping partnerships with wholesalers and reducing retail partners. Then Nike turned to focus on choosing strategic suppliers who also share the same vision of creating a more premium shopping experience. With more selective actions, Nike has succeeded in maintaining the efficiency of its power suppliers. Buyer power. Changes in customer behavior are also utilized by Nike with the Go Direct to Consumer strategy, where Nike builds a unique store that describes its products. Nike Life. Creating deeper customer relationships with a unique shopping experience. Thus, Nike can always maintain loyal customers wherever expansion is carried out. Threat of new entrants. Nike's acquisition of Converse to help the company diversify its portfolio and also add a new dimension to the company's footwear division. This reduces the threat of entrance in the shoe market share. On the other hand, currently Nike is also focusing on digital channels for sales that match its vision. And Nike uses this digital to help its customers' lifestyle with various interesting features, namely Nike Training Club, Nike Run, Nike Plus membership, and etc. Technologies such as AI, digital marketing, and etc. It can be seen here that even Nike are the new entrants for body fitness businesses. Substitute product. In today's digital era, the emergence of the metaverse trend has prompted Nike Inc. to take the step of acquiring the virtual shoe market RTF KT as a form of the company's expansion into the metaverse business sector or digital space, which is considered to be growing rapidly. This is the first step to prevent possible replacement products in the future. Overall, rivalry with its competitors, Nike excels in various variables. So with this result, Nike will be able to determine with what business model is appropriate. where what Nike is doing is shifting how to collaborate with the following explanation. From efficiency, one of the main focuses is to conduct research on customers by utilizing technology and producing according to customer interests. From resources, by maintaining the old key resources, Nike is also aware that digital literacy is crucial, so that one of the newest ones is the internet and metaverse services. To create a value proposition, Nike only builds a unique store that describes its products and makes it a special attraction. From partnership, strategically choose to work with more strategic partners who see the world in the same way. One of them, when Nike stopped working with Amazon and focus on choosing a strategic partner with the same vision of creating a more premium shopping experience. That's all my answers regarding the three questions above. For the closing statement, I will share my impressions during this course. This course has a really cool class. As the lecturer, Mr. Roseno Aji Afandi makes this class less bored by including the students to have a discussion or even a debate. Students also quick to understand the courses because the language is easy to accept. There is nothing that needs to be improved. It is already perfect. Thank you for your teachings, Mr. Aji. I hope you are always healthy.